Tickle me elmo.
You monster.
Like a toy long time ago.
Slowly. Run, bird. Yeah, there is some possibility of rug burn. So very recently it was revealed to me that my criteria for dating and relationships was kind of out of whack with what I actually seemed to enjoy in real life. And I reflect on all the times I've gone on a date from a place of lack and almost like desperation, like, oh, I hope she likes me. Without knowing anything about this person, really hoping that she likes me. And I think that for a lot of people, especially on the dating apps, when you go on a date, it's not to find out how compatible you are, it's to find out if the other person wants to sleep with you or not.
Right.
And if both people say yes, then great.
Totally.
But that's not really. Yeah, I don't think that really works.
Yeah, I feel like apps are just causes miscommunication.
Alright, slow down now, slow down. There's too many of us piled for like fast, sudden movements. We gotta listen to each other a lot. And remember, rule number 1 is if you're not comfortable, keep moving until you are comfortable, and other people who are on top of you will facilitate your movement. So yeah, recently I basically decided that if I find a person who is so awesome that I want to be best friends with that person, and there's also a sexual attraction, that's basically a reason to enter into a committed partnership.
Right.
Whether it's monogamous or polyamorous or whatever, if you're gonna make a commitment to another person, sex should not be the reason for it.
Not at all.
It's a bonus.
Yeah, sex is a bonus.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I like about what you said is that it's like if you get into a date, like a dating app, or even just like, oh, like I want to go on a date with this person, and you kind of like, you know, you show your best self that you can.
Right.
Inevitably, you're actually sabotaging yourself because
They don't get to know
they don't actually get to know you. So they end up needing a different version of you. And then what ends up happening is that even if you're successful with it, it's not until you get comfortable enough where they actually get to really meet you, where you get to discover if it's even worth the relationship or not. But it's just kind of crazy because basically you get to be slightly unhappy knowing that you're always working to be something other than what you are, right? To make a relationship work.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That takes a lot of energy.
trust me, at least that whole period of time, you have a partner, and that's socially validating, and you know.
Right.
So you got that going.
And
I
that's
love
what
the
it's all
conversation is
about.
so relaxed and intellectual.
To a certain extent.
Meanwhile, we're like a seamless, amorphous puddle.
Is your leg good there?
Talk about politics this way.
So about Trump, you know?
Regardless of gender, there's nothing more attractive than having a real connection with someone.
Yeah.
And you can look into their eyes and just immediately see your own being inside of them.
That's what it's all about. Real connection, whatever that form takes. That's what I say.
You know what I say?
What do you say?
I say love's overrated.
Love is all there is.
Don't you have a tattoo that says that? Love is overrated?
Oh no, I believe in love.
Jesse,
I just say
that
love's
is
overrated.
Tattoo.
Oh, I believe it. Don't get me wrong. I just say it's overrated. I say that commitment and hard work are underrated.
Somebody snatched this man
Oh my god.
Well, because think about it. Think if like you just get into the relationship because of love and connection, right?
Right.
My
But
gosh.
there's no real compatibility.
Good luck. You might love them today and not tomorrow.
Right.
Love's an emotion, and emotions are fleeting.
When did you get to be so wise?
It was like a year and a half.
Yes, I got my membership card in the mail.
Come on over, guys. It's
Hope your neighbors are okay.
the neighbors can't hear jack shit. It's really soundproof.
Okay, that arm's gonna come out. Oh my gosh. That's so good.
The funny thing is, we all have different relationships based on our different personalities in this whole world of human like psychology and how we interact with the other gender.
True.
I mean, that in itself is a paradigm. I get all sorts of interesting, I don't know, questions or assumptions. Yeah. And that's the problem, is these assumptions that, where do they come from? Where are they stemming from, you know? That's what we have to really bring into question. Like, are all thoughts our own? Or do they come with the price
Is the
tag?
thought your own if you heard it from somewhere and then it repeated in your brain unconsciously?
Mm-hmm.
How many truly unique thoughts do we really have ever? That's
Yeah.
This could get deep.
Keep
going. That's why.
Bring in the pillows and the blankets. And the teddy bears. And the cats. And the bunny rabbits.
What is real?
Well,
Really?
Nothing matters. Nothing matters.
nothing matters. That word in itself is an oxymoron.
I know, right? But it's a pointer, as Eckhart Tolle would say, right? It's pointing that as an explanation.
Right.
yes, I can.
What was that?
So sorry.
That's alright.
It was a soft impact.
Yeah.
You know what I think about thoughts? There's two kinds. there's only two kinds of thoughts.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's inspired thoughts,
Right.
and then there's thoughts that you've been told.
Right.
Right.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's all there is.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. New ones and old ones.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
And most people live their lives off of thoughts that they've been told.
I can see you just being like beauty.
Is it Jesse again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
We're all pissed.
No, I see it. There's two thoughts here. I got there's two thoughts in the world. There's not a question. No, Dolores.
Whoever just landed on me, I'm okay, but you're I was concerned. let's slow it down. Let's go back to sensing and feeling the soul.
We need some like Tibetan bowls or something.
I have one on the altar.
Oh,
It's right up there.
I'm sure we can all like put our mind power together and just flip it over here somehow.
Yeah, it's right up there next to the salt lamp, just like summon it. Man, I really wish Luke Skywalker had taught me that Jedi shit. But he was an asshole. He refused to teach me anything. He was all jaded and shit. Should have taught him when he was younger.
You sound so serious, man.
You watched the new movie, huh?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming around, Dave. He's coming around.
Yeah.
He's getting there. He just needs to see the light.
That's true.
Force is still with him.
What do you feel, you men in general, was told to you about masculinity that has not served you?
I was told that nobody can make it being an artist. Really. That just wasn't a means to of living. It was just out of the question. I think there's more things shown to us than what is told us, actually, as well.
Very good point.
Revealed through action.
Yeah, I think the action is what is most captivating to people, and the intention behind the action is actually what sticks as well. The imagery.
There's also so many stereotypes on what masculinity should and shouldn't be.
Right.
And it just brings me to the question if, and are there any men out there now or children that are being taught the traditional way of being a very courteous, pleasing, and servant man? Does the new millennium even understand what it is to be a true man?
Does humanity's like whole ideology of what a true man is a true man? Like, is it built off of war and campaign, or the gladiator, or being some noble?
There's definitely a gentleman aspect.
Yeah, Zach, what do you think? What is your opinion? What does it mean to be a true man?
My opinion, if you didn't have to protect your family and be forced into some situation of war or anger or militia, that you should be able to provide for your family and take care of anyone that you know and meet as if they were your own daughter. And to use the idea and the strength that we have in multiple different ways to make a difference in the world and impact anyone you come in contact with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think man is really mostly built up of ideas, and I think that's what really separates people, regardless of their gender. We can see that nowadays just by how big transgenderism is and whatnot. So it's more or less a mentality of pronouns and whatnot that are being thrown around and differentiated between the masses, and so it's getting more muddled and confusing in the sorts, but more dividing and discerning too, though.
It's kind of difficult because I feel like even just defining masculinity gives people ideas of what they should or shouldn't be.
Right.
And then it takes them away from actually just listening to themselves of who they are.
Right. Absolutely.
And, you know, everybody is distinctly different. Like, I mean, some people just naturally are more masculine, some people naturally are more feminine, and neither one is right or wrong, it's just who they are. I think ultimately it's like, I mean, putting labels is great as a conceptual learning. However, I think there's so much judgment of who we feel like we need to be that a lot of times it really takes us away from just listening to ourselves.
Yeah, very, very well said. It's a little bit like studying anatomy of the body and being like, this is your rectus femoris. Well, sure it is, but it's so much a part of the whole. It's just it is all so interwoven. So the rectus femoris is not better than the lats or whatever.
Right.
It's different.
It's just it's a name we put on, but it's all so interwoven. Like,
Yeah.
This raises the question of language for me.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too.
Thanks. Yeah, like if you say to a person, what does masculine mean to you? You'll get a different answer from every person.
right.
So then when we say like, is that masculine? Yes or no? Well, what's masculine? And you can find yourself in situations where a person does something because they want to be more masculine and they think that it is more masculine, like being violent.
Yeah.
You ask the person, why'd you do that? And you're like, I'm just trying to be a man. It's like, well,
suck it up, be a man.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Like,
Oh gosh.
when did we decide that that's what it meant to be a man?
Right.
Who told you that?
Yeah. Where does that go back to?
I heard that message from the earliest ages I can remember. Suck it up and be a man at 4 years old.
Right.
Like, wait, I'm not a man.
Yeah.
I'm a little kid.
What is that? That's like going up to a fucking car and be a duck.
Right, exactly.
I can't do it right now. I can't do that.
I'm just laughing already, imagining like all of the haters who will troll, you know, and be like,
You're so gay, you don't know shit about masculinity.
Well, I'm guessing they wouldn't really be watching this anyway. But
That's
no, they wouldn't watch it. They'd see the thumbnail, they'd watch 10 seconds, and then leave an angry comment.
yeah.
Comments disabled. Hello.
No, comments enabled, because we got to keep the forum open for the other
dialogue
side.
going.
For the other side, yeah. For both sides.
Right.
Let the trolls be counter-trolled. Because I do feel that quite literally what we are doing right now.
For whoever's leg is there somewhere.
I see it. It looks
Look at
good.
my leg in
It
there
just
somewhere.
seems like it's an awkward
consider this activity to be very masculine.
Wait, what's our safe word?
Stop.
Okay, stop.
Or
Banana?
go back, I feel like, is another one that like needs to be honored, because if someone's rolling in a direction and it's it's getting worse,
Just have to listen.
rewind. Yeah. It's
Mm.
good.
Retrograde.
Yeah, I think it's really funny that if you were to ask me when I was like 12, if this was masculine, I'd be like, ha, no.
Yeah.
But I genuinely feel that men gathering together consciously, who are comfortable with their bodies, comfortable with their sexuality, who are willing to engage in this type of experience, like this is
It's
very
almost
masculine.
it's almost like hyper masculine in a
Yeah.
way. Like
It's
if
a
you're
hyper
this
cars,
comfortable,
bro.
you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Like it demonstrates another layer
Of just sheer raw, like comfortable masculinity.
Right.
I can see
Definitely
us.
novel for me
Yeah.
in some ways. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
of. That's what I say.